Scorpio, February 2023. Hello. What do we need to know for you? So normally when I'm doing a reading, I think to myself, cool, what deck do I want to use? But just before I started your reading, it was just like Lightseer's Tarot. So we're here with the Lightseer's Tarot, ready to rumble for you, Scorpio. I'm going to take a couple of cards that are going to tell us the energy that you are bringing into February, that you're kind of bringing with you. It's like an overall energy card. It's what you've inherited from the last month, maybe from 2022 as well, bit of spillover, because that seems to have come up. Strength keeps coming up in your shuffle, by the way, which is interesting. So you might be dealing with a Leo. All your cards are trying to hide. Okay, and that one. That wasn't so, oh my God, okay, they're all just coming out in one go. Oh my God. There's a story. Shit, there's a story. Okay. That hasn't happened with any of the other signs. They've all been like patient and come out with a couple of cards and then we've expanded it. But no, here we go. We're spilling the tea. I've got some tea here. My lovely Le Creuset mug, one of my faves. I've got Yogi Throat tea. Go get yourself a drink. Water, tea, something stronger maybe when you see the cards at the bottom. Ooh, okay. This kind of has something to do with, do you remember in your January reading, it was something like the way you handle this determines kind of what happens and the outcome. Let's have a looky-see down at these cards by gum. Okay. We're going to get to these in a minute. This is the... woof! That bit all just came out. It was just like, blah, here we are. Okay. So as we come into February and we've got the Five of Cups up here in the corner. Five of Cups is a card that is... It's a water sign card, Scorpio, and you are a water sign. I'm a water sign too. I'm Pisces. As water signs, we feel very deeply. And I do feel like there is a bit of a shock to the system here. There is a bit of sadness. And when we get the Five of Cups, it's like confronting what we need to confront. It can be the energy of letting something or someone go. It can be the energy of the past. It has a kind of past element to it, because if you think about the Rider-Waite, you've got the guy who's like wearing a kind of a funeral cloak, and then he's looking down at three spilled cups, and behind him there's Two of Cups which are sitting up, but he's concentrating on the three cups that are spilled, which he should be, actually. Everyone always says with that, oh, he needs to notice the Two of Cups behind him. He doesn't. It's the whole point of the card. It's a 5. It's a disruptor card, the 5. It's an emotional disruptor. You're not supposed to notice the Two of Cups behind you because those are to come. Those are like in the background. You don't know about that yet. And also, in order to get to that, you need to be dealing with the three cups that are down. So that's the energy. This could be 3 months of something that's been going on, could be 3 weeks. But either way, it's 5, it's a disruptor. And the universe, Scorpio, is asking you to confront this, not to ignore it. And being a water sign, confronting something is not... It's not as obvious, external and brutal as it might be if you were like a fire sign or an air sign. It's water sign confronting. So this is like letting something surface. Scorpio is a sign, as you know, because you are one, where things are dealt with that are not looked at by the other signs because we haven't got the balls to look at them, and you have. That's your kind of job in the zodiac. Whether you want it or not, almost, which is why Scorpio is associated with Hades, Pluto, the death card. Because it's the place nobody wants to go. It's what nobody wants to look at. It's what I call the emotional sewer that nobody wants to see. So Scorpio, this is about something bobbing up in the sewer, okay? Bobbing up. I hope you're not having any breakfast. Bobbing up in your emotional sewer, and it's not like you need to shut it out. It's not like you need to kind of, blast it around or anything like that. You just need to gently observe it, notice it, acknowledge it. That's the word, is acknowledge it, okay? For some of you, there's been some heartbreak. There might have been a breakup. There might have been a row. There might have been some kind of story here. For some of you, this may even go back to childhood. It may have been that there's been some issue with family connection, with falling out with family, with old wounds, I would say, as well. Now, it comes up with the Queen of Pentacles, one of my fave cards of all time. Love the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, I call her the Queen of Velvet Waiting because she's class. Queen of Pentacles, super classy. She's wanting something and she's waiting for something, sure. But it's what I call velvet waiting. It's not sweaty desperate. It's not looking at her phone every 5 minutes. It's not lowering herself to ask too much. She's just there. You can see it. Her expression is beautiful in this deck. And her eyeshadow is incredible as well. Just saying, can I get that in focus? Yes. So here she is, and she's looking serene, and she's looking classy, and she's got her pentacle, okay, most importantly, which means she knows she's already got power. She knows that she's got worth. Her self-worth is there. She knows as well that, like any human being, there's something or somebody that she wants, she's there for it. But she's just going to sit on her throne. She's not going to make waves. She's not going to move towards. She's not going to embarrass herself. She's not going to drunk text at 3 a.m. That kind of thing. So there's this energy of, sorry, there's just someone bashing at a door over there. There's this energy of being there, knowing what needs to be grieved, and at the same time being stoic and classy. And Scorpio, you're very good at this because you're a very dignified sign. Dignity is very important for Scorpio. And by the way, let me know in the comments section any insights into anything about being a Scorpio. Please share. And it's hilarious because last month I got loads of Scorpios saying, I don't really share my private business. And I'm like, of course you don't, because you're a Scorpio. So obviously only if you want to. Now then, okay. So here's the energy we're coming in with. Then we get to this, it's a bit kind of bobbly. It's a bit ratty. It's nothing amazing, but it's Two of Pentacles. The need to switch something up, okay? Jupiter in Capricorn. The need to change the way something is. Notice that the Queen has the Pentacle, but this is also somebody kind of juggling with Pentacles, doing a figure 8 with Pentacles. Jupiter is a planet of expansion, seeing things broader, seeing things from a different perspective, being philosophical. And Capricorn is a very practical sign who likes to get stuff done and likes to show results, okay? So I feel like in February, and probably around mid-February, and of course it's V-Day, we've got Valentine's Day knocking around, haven't we, in February? I don't know whether that's good or bad. I don't know what to think about that anymore. Anyway, let me know what you think of Valentine's Day in the comments section. I think it's almost a necessary evil, a bit like Christmas, but there you go. Nevertheless, it focuses the mind, doesn't it? There's something here that you want to switch up, and it might also spill over into career, into your friendships, into your relationships with your family, that you are wanting to take charge of the energy more than you have been. Because there's a bit of a chaotic thread here that I'm getting. There just seems to have been, chaotic might be too strong, it might just be that there's slight unpredictability about it somehow. A feeling of it being a bit unpredictable, okay? So this is the switch up, but it's slow because it's Pentacles. And then we walk here into the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is like miscommunication, people not quite getting each other, what you're on about with each other. It could be that there's been a sort of row, but it's a kind of a drifty row. It's not one night we had an enormous argument, because that normally clears the air. This is more of a, you're not really hearing what I'm saying, and I don't really know what you're talking about type vibe. But also with the Five of Wands, again, like we saw with the Five of Cups, the Five of Wands is a disruptor because it's a 5, but it's fire, and that's water. That's an emotional disruptor. That's an energy disruptor. Okay, so there's some, it's annoying. Five of Wands is annoying. And also you have the Five of Pentacles, so we'll talk about that in a sec. Lots of fives. This is change for you. It's like incremental change in February, and it would be wise if you can, and Scorpio very often can, if change was a horse, that you get on and ride it, you know, because otherwise you're fighting against it. And the Queen of Pentacles doesn't fight against anything. She's a lover, not a fighter. She is cool and calm and collected, and she's happy where she is. No matter what that situation is, she's like, this is where we are. This is how it's going down. Okay. Five of Pentacles is another disruptor. And again, it's pentacle disruption. So Pentacles are earth. So it's about your security and where you belong. And where you belong emotionally is a big deal for February 2023 for Scorpio, okay? Five of Pentacles shows somebody, nearly always there's a door or there's a church window in the Rider-Waite one. And the access is always available. This is always interesting with the Five of Pentacles. So the access is available because there's a massive key and a massive lock, and we're assuming that that key would open that door if she used it, okay? But she doesn't. She doesn't use it, and we must assume, let me just turn my heater down, that she knows how to use a key. Therefore, it's almost, well, no, it's not almost, it's a choice. It's a choice not to just go barging in. There is something here in this top half of the reading that says to me, Scorpio, that you are going to feel cautious in February about something, somebody. It could be a work thing as well, because there's pentacles knocking around everywhere, about a deal that's offered to you, or about a potential relationship, or even the relationship you're already in. There's a feeling of trepidation, there's a feeling of not rushing. And I would say that you were right not to rush, because this disruptor energy is going to slow you down. You've got 3 of the 5. The only one you're missing is the 5 of Swords, which is Venus and Aquarius, okay? So the universe wants you to stop and pause. And who knows, in the extended reading, you might get the other one, the 5 of Swords, kind of feeling it that you might, okay? So this is your kind of story. And then these 4 popped out. They seem to go together to me as one kind of story in themselves, one chapter. And I feel like this is about your love life here, okay? So you may want at this point to get a stronger drink, or just a glass of water, or a nice cup of tea like I've got, because we're going in, we're diving in about your love life, okay? Do hit the like button if this is resonating, by the way. It now turns kind of funny colours and it does a wiggle, which is quite cool. It looks a bit like a sort of, ooh, like that. Okay. All of these cards, well, 3 of them are swords, Let's just get that out of the way. 3 of them are swords. And then we've got this, oh, I love this devil. This sexy, sparkly devil with his gorgeous, glittery hair. Okay? Kind of reminds me sort of Lenny Kravitz, you know? Anywho, show me age. 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords, no matter which way you dice it, is a card of emotional pain. I mean, you know, if we were just looking at the imagery of the 3 of Swords, come on, you know, it's pretty obvious here. The thing I very much like about this deck is that the heart is made of like satin and it's been stitched and it's repairable. And I like that because I feel like by the time you've reached a certain point in your life, your heart has been stitched and repaired, and it's like an old teddy bear, you know, with the eye sewn back on. It's battle scarred and it might be a bit weary, you know, from all these 5s and all this energy of disruption. So it feels like, Scorpio, that you're running into change, that the universe wants you to grieve the things you have not grieved. And this could go deeper and further than just what's going on in a relationship, but a relationship is holding a mirror up to your soul. Okay? Ooh, that was channeled. Where did that come from? A relationship is holding a mirror up to your soul. Okay. I feel like there is some shadow work. There's some shadow side going on. I feel like this energy is spiky and deep, stormy and difficult and triggered, and maybe has been triggered recently by somebody, by something they said, by absence, by maybe you're wondering what's going on with somebody, because we got 2 guys here. We got the King of Swords, okay? Can you see these? If I shove them up, you can actually see them a bit better, and I will hold them up as well because they're such gorgeous images for a start. We've got our King of Swords here. Could be air signs, because this is an air sign card. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. King of Swords, you can see here, the communication lines are broken behind him. He's got all these birds, which are messenger birds, and birds which are ancient communication. He's got a sword, I think, yes. He's a bit of a dude, you know, it's quite a good look he's got. It's slightly Game of Thrones, slightly Motorhead, you know, we like this. There's something about this person that is intellectual and detached in a way, and sometimes difficult to know. The energy of being difficult to know, and I suppose that the buzzword for that is mysterious. There's an air of mystery, because I feel like for some of you, you've either met or you're going to meet somebody who really triggers this and that. And there are different ways that this can affect a relationship and different ways that this can affect a person. It can be very cathartic. You know, relationships are the mirrors to our soul, aren't they? And it feels like this is like, you know, they have that phrase about the dark mirror and the shadow side. I just feel like there's an awakening going on for you, and it has to do with this person. But I don't think it's the easiest, and we don't know what the outcome of that is, because the 7 of Swords, as you can see, and there's a lot of birds involved here. Is that a raven, maybe? Or a crow? it's somebody stealing the bird. This guy is pilfering under the full moon, okay? Now, we've got a full moon. I think it's in Leo, is that right? On the 5th, maybe. Let's have a quick look. So just know full moons are significant, okay? Yeah, full moon in Leo on the 5th. But there's also another full moon that I want you to think about. And let me just find that for you. Put this in your diary. Okay. Full moon in Virgo on the 7th of March. I know it's a while away, but I'm just saying there's going to be some kind of, and actually it's not that far away, is it? Between the 5th of February and the 7th of March, there's going to be, like, if it was music, a crescendo, like an emotional build-up to something. And a sense of revelation, I think, because we've got the full moon. But at the same time, it's not going to be an obvious revelation for you. It's like seeing through a glass darkly, which is something they say in the letter to the Corinthians, St. Paul. Something about seeing through a glass darkly, and I'm channeling again because I haven't thought about this for ages and I don't even know it properly. So you might have to Google that. I'm going to Google it later. But again, a glass is a mirror. There is something coming up for you with somebody. You may have had an echo of this already, where a conversation or a discovery or some kind of, what's the word for it? Hunch. You know, it could just be a hunch. But when us water signs have hunches, we tend to follow up on them because we know how powerful a hunch can be. This is a complex person. This is not, you know, your average, you're going to meet a tall, dark stranger and it's all going to be giggles and unicorns and glitter. No, maybe glitter, because we've got the glitter. But this is a person, this devil card, it's an invitation. His palm is out, but there are strings attached to it. And I think what's coming up for you, but I think for some of you it's been around for a while, is how far you're prepared to, and we will take an outcome card here, how far you're prepared to invest in this, whether this is actually an awakening that's beneficial to you, or whether this is the final chapter of something and you don't know yet. And I think that some of you may have been tossed and turned a little bit emotionally. And that's why it's very hard to know whether to let go or not. Because you've got mixed emotions, you've got mixed intuition, you've got mixed messages, and the Queen of Pentacles with the King of Swords. This is the Queen of cool observation and class. And the King of Swords is the same. You know, no one's really saying anything here. This is not, you know, massive amount of verbals, but there's some non-verbal communication going on. And also with the Seven of Swords, there is something behind the scenes here. You're right. I don't want to use the word suspect because I don't know if it's that strong. I'm going to have a look in the extended reading. I'm going to have a big old dig actually. I'm going to channel and I'm going to, going to get my marigolds on and go wading through the sewers for you. The Seven of Swords, it's always, Seven of Swords is often when you need to also be on the down low and not really kind of speaking your truth to everybody who wants to hear it. Scorpios never do anyway. I mean, you're really good at this, but I'm just saying it because it's coming out in the card. It's about a need to know basis. It's about timing. And then this Devil card is temptation, but it's whether that temptation is worth it and whether that temptation is healthy enough. Okay, definitely complicated. Should we look at the outcome card? And then I've got one more that wanted to come up as well. Outcome card, we get the Chariot. Cancerian energy, but also the energy here of trying to ride two horses with one arse. That's what he's doing. Now, normally sometimes I would say choose one horse and stick to it, but I don't think so. I think because we've got a time between like the 5th of February and the 7th of March, you're going to need to keep two horses in the game, whatever that means to you, and you will know what that means to you. And then somehow this will turn into a choice. Oh, this is nice. And that was the other card that just wanted to come into it, which is the Ten of Pentacles. There's an opportunity here for stability. This is like the sort of what I call the meat and potatoes relationship card. There's an opportunity here, but it's a bit of an obscure way of getting there. And this is what you need to navigate in February. Gosh, Scorpio, I'm going to go do your extended reading. It's the first link in the description box if this is your story. It's really interesting. Please leave me a comment if you want to, okay? And I will see you soon. Namaste.